An interview with Tom Cruise is like handling a live grenade for the corrupt corporate media.
I'm just telling you right now, okay? Put your manners back in.
Because I think he doesn't get enough credit for just throwing the script away and demolishing reporters when they get out of line.
Now, why would you do that? And you should do that also, because just knowing people who are on Ritalin isn't enough.
Subscribe to Elites Exposed for more and watch him humiliate a Channel 4 reporter for this terrible idea of a prank.
Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Come here. Come here. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Funny. Not very funny. Can you please?
No, it's okay. No, wait 1 second. What's so funny about it? It's ridiculous. Do you like making lessons? That's really... Hey, no. Don't run away. Don't run away. No, I don't care. That's incredibly rude. I'm here giving you an interview and answering your questions, and you do something really nasty. You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
You could just see Tom Cruise didn't want to make it a bigger scene than it had already become. But my God, who on earth thought this was a good idea for a prank? As if squirting water through a mic and ruining his dress for the event would get any different of a reaction. And by the way, this so-called reporter was arrested, and Channel 4 was forced to offer a full apology, after which Tom decided it wasn't worth the time and effort to press charges for assault. But 2005 certainly wasn't a good year for Tom Cruise's relationship with the media, because watch how uncomfortable it got when this Australian host for 60 minutes kept pushing the line of questioning closer and closer to Tom's personal and marital life with ex-wife Nicole Kidman.
You know, I plan on getting married again.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Well, I suppose they're questions that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay, so I'm just telling you right now, okay? Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologise for that sincerely.
Good.
There is a place where the world does want to know about your personal life, and there is a line that you have to draw.
Absolutely. I mean, I know people are interested, and I don't have a problem with that. And I also don't have a problem to say, hey, listen, you know, where I am with Nick is in a great place. I don't mind answering questions, but there's a way of phrasing something that's polite and has manners, and things that I say, you know what, I wouldn't answer that to someone coming up to me at a party.
Yeah.
I have no problem. Of course I know people want to know about my life.
Yeah. But when I read so much about you, Tom, these are questions you answer.
Peter, you want to waste your time on this right now?
I don't.
Or do you want to ask some other questions?
20 years' time, where will Tom Cruise...
Good. You want to move on? Peter, come on. Let's go, man.
Now, here's something you should know. The reason this host just kept pushing the line with Tom Cruise, even after clearly being told to put his manners back in, is part of how these corporate media mouthpieces are trained to control and set the frame of the conversation. Because I can almost guarantee you that if Tom hadn't drawn the hard line in the sand that his family and marital life was off limits, the host had more invasive questions lined up to trap him with. And this is something that most people actually fall for, maybe for fear of creating a scene or coming off rude on camera. Besides, Tom Cruise is one of those rare A-listers in Hollywood that are brave enough to challenge the silent nexus of collusion between corporate media and movie business. He's proven that by suing media organizations and tabloids several times for millions of dollars. If they cross that line, he draws with his personal life. Most famously, Tom sued multiple tabloids back in 2013 for printing that he had been an absent father in his daughter's life, which is a reaction I can certainly understand. But there's another incredible moment engraved in his legacy, which is Matt Lauer's clash with Tom Cruise over his criticism of how carelessly prevalent psychiatry medications had become in the United States.
I've never agreed with psychiatry, ever. Before I was a Scientologist, I never agreed with psychiatry. And then when I started studying the history of psychiatry, I started realizing more and more why I didn't agree with psychiatry. Here we are today, where I talk out against drugs and psychiatric abuses of electric shocking people, okay, against their will, of drugging children with them not knowing the effects of these drugs. Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin? Do you know now that Ritalin is a street drug? Do you understand that?
The difference is this was not against her will, though. But this wasn't against Brooke's will.
Matt, I'm asking you a question.
I understand there's abuse of all of these things.
No, you see, here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do.
Aren't there examples, and might not Brooke Shields be an example of someone who benefited from one of those drugs?
All it does is mask the problem, Matt. And if you understand the history of it, it masks the problem. That's what it does. That's all it does. You're not getting to the reason why. There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance.
So postpartum depression to you is
Matt,
kind of a little psychological gobbledygook?
No, I did not say that.
I'm just asking, what would you call it?
Matt, that is the post. Now you're talking about two different things.
But that's what she went on the antidepressant for.
But what happens, the antidepressant, all it does is mask the problem. There's ways of vitamins and through exercise and various things. I'm not saying that that isn't real. That's not what I'm saying. That's an alteration of what I'm saying. I'm saying that drugs aren't the answer, that these drugs are very dangerous. They're mind-altering, antipsychotic drugs. And there are ways of doing it without that so that we don't end up in a brave new world. Man, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. If you start talking about chemical imbalance, you have to evaluate and read the research papers on how they came up with these theories, Matt. Okay? That's what I've done. And you go and you say, where's the medical test? Where's the blood test that says how much Ritalin you're supposed to get?
It's very impressive to listen to you because clearly you've done the homework and you know the subject.
And you should. And you should do that also because just knowing people who are on Ritalin isn't enough. You should be a little bit more responsible in knowing
I'm not prescribing Ritalin, Tom, and I'm not asking anyone else to do it.
Well, you're saying, no,
I know some people who seem to have been helped by it.
But it's like, this is a very important issue.
This is couldn't agree more.
And you know what? And you're here on the Today Show.
Right.
And to talk about it in a way of saying, well, isn't it okay, and being reasonable about it when you don't know, and I do. I think that you should be a little bit more responsible in knowing what it is, because you communicate to people. What is an ideal scene in life? Okay. Ideal scene is someone not having to take antipsychotic drugs.
I would agree.
Okay, so now you look at it and you go, okay, a departure from that ideal scene is someone taking drugs. Okay, and then you go, okay, what is the theory and the science behind that?
And I have to say, Tom looks a lot more vindicated now than he did 20 years ago, considering just how unhealthy yet heavily medicated the United States has become. And apparently no one else wants to acknowledge the link. But do let me know in the comments what you think and subscribe to Elites Exposed for more.